text you.
The question that they will try to answer throughout the course of this game is Minnesota won the toss. They've elected to defer. Charger ball, and here comes Justin Herbert.
He's smashing records left and right.
No Austin Eckler today, so Josh Kelly gets the call, and Kelly up the middle into the arms of Jordan Hicks. 2nd down and 8. The handoff to Kelly, who sweeps the left side. A flag down as he's nudged out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Slater looks like he get called for the hold.
3-yard penalty. 2nd down.
On 2nd and 18, Herbert to the air, finds Allen, and he's sandwiched.
He's up on the line of scrimmage, trying to play who's who in the zoo.
Quickly to Allen. Blockers in front, and Allen upended at the 30-yard line. Good tackle by Cameron Bynum, who had a career-high 15 last week.
A loud atmosphere on the road on offense. The center's got to tell you who's the mic. The running back's got to hear it. So they're just trying to confuse this Chargers offense.
Brandon Powell on a short punt telling everybody to get out of the way, and what a bounce it takes for the Vikings. Kirk Cousins and Minnesota will have excellent field position near their 44-yard line. Alexander Madison behind the line as the single back. And it'll be Madison who gets the carry, trying to find some running room. And that's been the story with the Vikings all season. Trying, but failing.
Big part of the game plan, because that opens up their play action that they love to get into.
Madison to the edge. There's a good run. And Madison all the way down to the 42-yard line.
Well, look at this. You're seeing Madison execute this toss to the edge because they were able to capture the edge right here with some of these blockers and give him room to get all the way around, circle the defense, and finally put his foot in the ground. You see Osborne right in front, helping out him, and Hawkinson made it work that time.
1st and 10, back to the ground. Madison again, a hop through a hole, and Madison down to the 35-yard line. 5-year, $82 million deal. He's played 7 games in the last 2 years, 329 total snaps. Madison again, up the gut, pounding away, inside the 30 and down at the 28-yard line.
With C.J. Ham.
And a toss play behind Ham, the blocking fullback. Madison sifting through traffic and gets 2 to the 26-yard line.
They want to control this game with the run game and get in that play action right here.
There's the play action. Cousins to the air, finds his tight end. That's Josh Oliver, and down at the 25. Really good tackle by Kenneth. 3rd and 8 from the 25. Cousins. Pressure picked up, and he fits it into T.J. Hawkinson, and the ball pops out. It's taken away, and the Chargers with Alohi Gilman ripping it out of the hands of T.J. Hawkinson get another Viking turnover.
There's a catch and a fumble recovered by Los Angeles.
The 7th fumble lost by Minnesota this season. They lost only 8 all of last year, but the Chargers take it away after a promising start. 1st down, Herbert to the air. There's Keenan Allen with a catch at the 25-yard line, and he fights his way close to the 1st down at the 29. Stone Smart in motion for the Chargers.
Using that 12 personnel too, that 2 tight end set.
And the give for a 1st down to Joshua Kelly.
Well, that's been huge for them, is the turnover margin, right? If you turn over the ball but your defense gives it back, it's a wash. Unfortunately, it's been one-sided.
On 1st and 10 from the 33, almost a deflected interception as we talk turnovers. Jordan Hicks. 2nd and 10 at the 33. Herbert's first option covered. He'll check it down to Mike Williams. Slips out of one tackle and then is surrounded by Vikings at the 38-yard line.
Be ready for all the stunts up front.
Vikings rush 5. Herbert to the sideline for Allen. Makes the catch. Keenan Allen with a 1st down, working against Byron Murphy.
Look for him to have a presence today.
Off the play fake, backside pressure. Herbert's in trouble, got away from Wanham. He can run. Justin Herbert sliding down with a 1st down.
Herbert's going to get some pressure from the outside. He knows he's got to step up in the pocket and remain a passer. Watch him. He got away from danger quickly. Used his legs. All the defenders had parted like the Red Sea. This guy's off to the races, and those kind of plays.
Joshua Palmer motioning. The swing to Palmer. Blockers in front, but good job shedding the block by Josh Metellus out there on the edge to limit the gain for Palmer. Herbert had a little time, and then a big hit leveled on Gerald Everett by Byron Murphy, but he hangs on, and another first down for Los Angeles. Quentin Johnston in motion. Swing to Johnston. Blockers in front for the rookie from TCU, his 4th catch of the year. 7 passes, 2 runs the previous 9. Another trip to the air, and that one's dropped.
You see everybody on the line of scrimmage, namely those two right in the middle, forcing communication between the center, quarterback, and running back.
Herbert with a 4-man rush in his face, throws to the right side. Catch by Allen, beautifully dropped in by Herbert between 2 defenders, Mark, and it's 1st and goal at the Vikings 3.
Wow. Allen gets inside, gets back out to his landmark on that high angle corner from the slot, and Herbert just an excellent throw, and they cleared it out. You see Quentin Johnson clearing out the safety. He went for the big shot.
1st and goal. Slung it sidearm and into the end zone. Donald Parham for his 2nd touchdown of the year. And the Chargers cash in on the Vikings fumble and jump out 6-0.
Watch this. He's just going to stutter a little bit, get out to his right, and Williams is going to throw a quick little phantom block.
Cameron Dicker. Extra point good. And 7-0 the lead. Parham Jr.'s 3-yard touchdown catch gives Los Angeles the early 7-0 lead, and the Vikings will come out to their own 25-yard line.
Smile in the fist pump. You know it.
1st down and 10. Kirk Cousins off play action. Checks it down to Madison. Madison banged down near the 29 by Kenneth Murphy. And the give up the middle runs right into the arms of Sebastian Joseph Day. 3rd and 4 for Minnesota at their own 31-yard line. Movement up front, and they stop the play.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 56.
Ty Chandler, the running back now. And Chandler with a carry gets to the edge, and Chandler with a little bit of speed. And a team that didn't have a 10-yard rush in the first 2 games has 2 in the first quarter. Off the play fake on 1st down, pressure coming. Cousins able to step away and finds Chandler, who has it hit his hands and drop incomplete. Jasir Taylor. First quarter here for the Chargers. Vikings a 2nd and 10 at the 48-yard line. And looking for room up the middle. Chandler just getting low and picking his way in Minnesota. Inactive today after being traded midweek. 3rd and 5. Pocket collapsing. Cousins in trouble, and down he goes. Bosa in on the sack, along with Tuli Tuipulotu. Tuipulotu on the back, Bosa on the front. 7-0 Chargers at the end of 1. And the Vikings will punt it away. Darius Davis, the deep man, awaiting Ryan Wright's punt. And a line drive punt. It'll bounce at the 1 and get into the end zone for a touchback.
Today, getting sacks on 3rd down with a guy who doesn't even start. SC guy, no surprise. Tuipulotu balling.
Nothing much there for Kelly as Daniil Hunter gets the stop. Going right after Murphy, and Williams with the grab. Down just a yard shy of the first, brings up 3rd and 1.
Screen.
And the swing to Everett, trying to get to the edge, and he just got the 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 31, play action. Herbert going deep, looking for Williams, well covered by Murphy.
All day long, just keeping everything in front.
And it's Darius Davis. Great speed on the edge, and a good tackle by Metellus.
It's going to look like crisscross applesauce.
3rd and 7. Pressure from Hunter. Herbert steps away, finds Keenan Allen. Goes airborne for the 1st down. The ball popping out, but Allen has it, and it's a 1st down for Los Angeles. From the 43 on 1st down. Handoff to Isaiah Spiller. Down at the 44, Ivan Pace Jr. with the tackle. 2nd and 9 at the 44. Pace providing the heat again, and he had to get rid of that early to Allen. Herbert 14 of 18, 99 yards and a touchdown. Only 1 pass of 10 yards or more. He needs 9 for the 1st down here. Herbert under pressure again. Tough one-handed catch by Gerald Everett, but nowhere to go.
By Justin Herbert, or that thing could be off to the races.
Brandon Powell looking for that one and has it at the 25-yard line for the Vikings, who start 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Cousins to Madison over the middle, and Madison twisting out of initial contact gets 7 to the 32-yard line. And on 2nd down, off the play action, Cousins has to step up, floats it out there, and there's the first catch of the day for Justin Jefferson.
Watch him running all the way across the field to get to that right third of the field. And there's the catch point, 22 yards, right on the inside edge of the numbers.
And Cousins with time finds Jefferson again, a diving catch, sprawled out at the 15, got back up and got a couple of extra yards before Jasir Taylor.
Eat up some secondary right here and leak Justin Jefferson through the middle of the field, and then he's going to fly across to that front pylon. Kirk Cousins turns his back to the defense, steps up, feels the nice, cushiony, open space part in the pocket, and delivers another strike.
Cousins, play fake again. Backside pressure, he steps away. Outlets quickly to Johnny Munt, and a flag is down.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense number 45. 5-yard penalty, first down.
When Kirk Cousins is dealing like that.
1st and goal at the 7. Toss play, Madison trying to get to the edge, bouncing off tacklers and down at the 4. That was a hard 3 yards for Madison.
But that 2nd and 3rd effort from Madison, they're going to need that.
2nd and goal from the 4. Cousins, pressure coming, hit as he throws, gets rid of it to the goal line, and it's a touchdown. Josh Oliver just able to move that football across the plane of the goal line to get the Vikings on the board. It's that 160th touchdown pass for Kirk Cousins, Mark. Passes Tommy Kramer's 2nd most in Minnesota history.
Drop perfectly into his zone and try cutting off that shallow cross.
And the extra point good to tie this game at 7 apiece. That 5-play, 75-yard drive that never got to a 3rd down. Touchback to the 25-yard line. From the 25-yard line on 1st down. To the air to Mike Williams, and Williams to the 31, picks up 6. 2nd and 4 at the 31. Again, the swing to Johnston, and Johnston on the edge, upended with a 1st down. Only 2 and 6 in games he's missed. From the 44 on 1st down, they find Joshua Palmer. The ball popping out at the 45-yard line. Ripped out by Jordan Hicks.
They needed that.
Who's going to come out of the pile with it? Josh Metellus believes it'll be a Viking, and it is.
Oh, we need 2 hands in traffic, but look at that. Just punched it out. Jordan Hicks. Watch, this is essentially a little screen. I wouldn't be surprised, or they might just lull him to sleep with a little run, but that play action's been nice.
They start with the lull, as you mentioned, to sleep. Now a pickup of 7 at the 38-yard. 2nd and 3. There's the play fake. Wants to go deep, has to check it short to C.J. Ham. He was looking down the right sideline, Mark, but nothing there, and he checks it down for the 1st down to Ham. Left use of Ham. Cousins under pressure, hit as he throws, and the pass is incomplete. Sebastian Joseph Day back out there, and he provided that pressure on Kirk Cousins.
Speed break.
Cousins all day to throw this time. Out to the sideline, and he couldn't connect with the rookie from USC, Jordan Addison, but a flag down.
Pass interference. Defense number 43. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic, 1st down.
1st down and 10. Madison blasting up the middle. Flag down behind the play.
Just trading penalties here.
An 8-yard run likely coming back, Mark.
Holding. Offense number 67. 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
To us earlier, starting Monday, we're evaluating the O-line. The best 5 guys are going to be out there. To the sideline, and a leaping grab by Justin Jefferson. Asante Samuel brings him down at the 10, but a pickup of 25.
You're going to see him get up on the corner and hang a left-hand turn.
First down and goal at the 10-yard line. Play fake. Cousins drifting to his left. Pressure comes. Looking for Addison. The pressure from behind. Tuipulotu was providing that heat on Cousins, and he got rid of it. Second and goal at the 10-yard line. And flag down. Looked like some movement on the left side of the line.
False start. Offense number 75. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Second and goal at the 15. Cousins checks it down, dropped. Madison had it hit him in the hands. He started to run without the football, and it's third and goal. First third down of the drive for the Vikings. They're 0 for 2 today on third. This is third and goal from the 15. Here's Madison. Second chance, makes the catch at the 10. Madison, bang, down at the 6-yard line, and a flag in late. Derwin James Jr. with that hit, and a flag drops at the end of the play.
Target point, that's a tough one on the edge for me.
First and goal at the 3. Madison trying to find the end zone. The ball is out. Another Vikings fumble. Recovered by J.T. Woods. Kevin O'Connell is arguing, was he down? Was he down?
Immediately upon the first contact, you're going to see it didn't. He gets stood up. The ball would have had to been out already for the Chargers to win that challenge.
Second and goal at the 6-yard line. Off the play fake, Cousins to the end zone, and it's deflected away from K.J. Osborne by Asante Samuel Jr.
K.J. Osborne had to slow down for this ball. Asante Samuel almost had it. That's 2 plays in a row. Just a little too close for me, but they're going to try and draw you off here and bring Osborne all the way across the field. Kirk Cousins has to roll to his right hard and slam on the brakes. That's a tough throw back across your body. Well played by Asante Samuel. He was beat, though.
Third and goal at the 6. Cousins under heat from Bosa, gets rid of the football. It was tipped at the line, so this is not going to be an intentional grounding. Instead, it's incomplete.
This is a big play up front because Madison is leaking out. Yep, got him right on the elbow. Affected the throw, and he was going to waltz in the end zone.
23-yard try is good, and the Vikings have a 10-7 lead with 2:08 remaining. Chargers with the 2-minute warning and 1 timeout left. Lost their second timeout on that challenge that they did not get overturned on the fumble near the goal line. So down 10-7.
2 sacks and an intentional grounding. Last week they struggled as well.
There's Keenan Allen struggling forward to the 32-yard line. Up on the Verizon halftime. Herbert to the sideline. There's Allen ushered out of bounds with a first down.
Such incredible numbers he's putting up, but most importantly, 2 quick completions, moving this team down the field. Here comes a little pressure.
Well, rush 5, now 6, a late rush as he finds Everett over the middle. Good job picking up that pressure by the Chargers front, and Everett ushered out of bounds by a Caleb Evans as we grab a game break from Carissa Thompson.
They gotten too many yards. Be ready for a quick throw out to the edge.
Vikings bring it all on the quick slant to Allen, and Allen's got a first down, or 9 yards actually. They'll spot him a yard short at the 40-yard line.
Herbert felt all the players up on the line of scrimmage. You're going to see it again, and he just wanted a quick answer, and that outlet was Keenan Allen.
2nd and 1, another quick outlet. This time it's Mike Williams. Stays inbounds. Remember, 1 timeout remaining for the Chargers.
Whatever you do, waste the clock and steal 3 points.
Pressure again. Herbert throwing down the sideline. Drops it in to Joshua Palmer.
You're going to see the go route, and right there, the push. He knew he was beat. Didn't want to give up the free touchdown to take the penalty.
First and goal at the 6. Kelly trying to bounce to the edge, and he's down at the 3-yard line. 2nd down and goal, under a minute to play. Second down and goal. Play action to the goal line and stopped short. Gerald Everett with first contact from Mekhi Blackman.
Pound it.
They give to Kelly. Kelly not going to get there. Ivan Pace Jr. setting the pace for this Vikings D. Motion out from Everett. And motion across from Smart. Herbert pumps, throws, caught, touchdown. Donald Parham just pried it away. Strong catch, his second touchdown of the day. And the Chargers take a 13-10 lead.
Here's the first read. You're going to get a bunch of crisscrossers inside, and Parham's just going to slam on the brakes and get to this zone right there. Watch that spot, right in between the N and the G, and then he's going to dot him on the inside edge that he's working with two crossing routes that sit down and then the back end line basic.
Donald Parham Jr. That's 22% of his career catches have been touchdowns. Parham Jr. with both of them today.
Unbelievable.
Now can the Vikings double up? They deferred after winning the toss, so they're going to get the football to start the second half. Can they double up on an opportunity here? No timeouts to the sideline. Hawkinson with the catch and out of bounds. 2nd and 2 at the 33. Chargers rush 4. Cousins will throw. There's over the middle to Hawkinson. Tackle inbounds by Jasir Taylor. No timeouts. They've got to hurry. 30 seconds and counting. Line it up. Now down to 24 seconds as Cousins gets the shotgun snap. Down to Hawkinson again, trying to get to the outside. And an excellent play by Davis to keep him in bounds. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. They just get the snap. This will be the final play, barring a penalty. Cousins dancing around, and he's going to have to throw it away. And halftime is here in Minnesota. Talk about the trauma. A giant blue horse just threw you to the turf. And that kickoff is going to bounce into the end zone for a touchback. 25-yard line. And the handoff to Madison. Madison breaks a tackle, hangs on to the football, gets 15 to the 40-yard line.
Turnover too many. Defensively, proud of the way his guys hung in on that last drive. Said it was a lot of adversity. I'll finish in a second.
Go ahead, Laura. Alexander Madison was tackled, so you can finish. Cousins hit as he throws, a wobbler trying to jump in and grab it on the pick is Alohi Gilman, and the pass is incomplete. Khalil Mack providing the pressure at the 47.
Run it on some of these third and short. Dog.
Cousins hit as he throws again, floating it for Jefferson, and it's incomplete.
That run and pass and convert third downs.
All right, Laura, thanks very much. Davis will watch this punt bounce at the 8-yard line and take a turn left out of bounds.
Right around the sticks that I think Kevin was anticipating he threw.
And on first down, Chargers from their own 6-yard line take it to the 9.
I think Kevin thought he was going to throw that thing underneath. Uncharacteristic of Cousins.
Flag down. This play stops before it starts on 2nd and 7.
False start. Offense number 89. Half the distance penalty. Second.
Those referees, 2nd and 12. Herbert to the air, floats it up for Williams. A diving grab is made by Mike Williams. What a catch at the 39-yard line. 35-yard pickup and a first down.
Chargers are beneficiaries of a lack of camera angles because some of them got blocked by the Chargers players. It's close. And look at Murphy competing to the very end. Watch. Trying to bulk that ball out at the end.
Herbert setting up again for the sideline. Wide open is Keenan Allen. Allen dancing into Vikings territory down to the 35.
And watch him slam on the brakes. It's Keenan Allen. Watch him the whole time. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids right there. But he's showing like he's running deep, showing like he's going to run a deep out route, and then breaks that off. That's a 7 bite.
Pass Lance Allworth for 2nd all-time in Charger history. Allen trying to get around the edge and cannot find any room over there. Byron Murphy with a good ankle tackle. Herbert.
Got him. Oh, no.
Goes back the other side, and it's incomplete. Palmer the intended receiver Evans on the coverage. Third down and 9 at the 35. Herbert with a clean pocket. A little too tall, and it's deflected incomplete. Looking for Quentin Johnston-Murphy on the coverage. 53-yard try. He hit from 57 in college. This would be an NFL long. Instead, it's Cameron Dicker's second career NFL miss. And the Vikings with good field position. Can they take advantage from the 43? Madison with the carry, and Madison gets a yard, if that. Not much on the ground for Madison.
He's looking and waving his hands.
Cousins hit again as he gets rid of his football. Madison, the recipient of the pass at the 49-yard. Third down and 4 at the 49. Cousins to the sideline for Jefferson. He's got the first down. Out to the 45-yard line of Los Angeles. Michael Davis drives him back there. And that was an awkward start to that play. Movement all over the place.
False start. Offense number 71. 5-yard penalty. First down.
First and 15. Cousins finds Hawkinson. Gets the yardage back and then some down near the Charger 40-yard line. On 2nd and 5. This is Madison again. And Madison got around the initial contact. Sebastian Joseph Day knifing into the backfield and picks up a yard, but it brings up 3rd and 4 now.
Got the numbers to run it.
3rd and 4. Cousins, pressure again, in trouble. Cousins is sacked.
Well, watch this rush from the right side. He's eventually going to get through, but they got 2 D linemen bearing down on him. Pelotu and Fox. There goes Pelotu, takes the high road. Fox eventually runs around the entire dish and still gets to Kirk Cousins. Problems.
And the punt goes down at the 5 and then takes a skip like a stone across a pond into the end zone. He's got 29 completions on 35 attempts today, but they go to the ground on this first down drive, and they carry up the middle of about 5.
Tellus off the edge. Here it comes.
Tellus providing the heat. Herbert trying to get away. He does. Steps around that pressure and finds Keenan Allen. Allen out of bounds across midfield at the Vikings 49.
And watch him get away from that sack. See Keenan Allen right downfield. Oh, man. Look at that throw. On the move. Avoids a sack from 2 defenders. And he can throw on the move.
49.
Double pass, double pass.
He's going to throw down the sideline. Williams wide open. Mike Williams with the catch, and he'll walk in for the touchdown.
Well, watch the DBs. As soon as Keenan Allen catches this football here, their eyes in the backfield. And watch this. Boom, he catches it. Everybody's looking inside. Everybody's looking back at the ball. And there goes Palmer and Mike Williams. He had a chance to throw it to either one. He picks the outside guy and pads the stats for his buddy. He even looked at the inside guy. You see that quick glance?
Oh, he looked off the safety.
Okay. Pass behind the line of scrimmage. And that was so well executed. I told you, all these underneath routes, they're going to get this defense to suck up a little bit.
Let's go back to the play Jets have called, by the way. Extra fantasy points, perhaps, for Keenan Allen throwing a touchdown?
Unbelievable.
From the 25. Now Cousins back to work again, and Hawkinson, a good start to the drive. Tumbling over for a pickup of 20. Let's check in with Laura. Yeah, no kidding. I mean, who knew that was going to happen? Pressure. Cousins chased all over the place and gets rid of it. Finally, Sebastian Joseph Day got to him as he threw the foot.
Coming over the walls, you're going to see some of these games up front.
Oh, they're going to roll it down. So it's a sack for Sebastian Joseph Day. Right there, the knee is down. And it's the first sack of the year for the former Rutgers Scarlet Knight.
Let's see where that knee goes down right there.
Yep.
Boom. Knee down, ball still in his hand.
Second at 15. Cousins over the middle. Ooh. Addison is just planted by Michael Davis. Now 3rd and 11. Cousins under pressure again. He's going to try to run. There's a flag down, and Kirk Cousins gets hit hard, short of the first down at the Charger 45, and we'll wait and see about the flag after the 10-yard scramble.
While the quarterback was in the pocket, holding, defense number 43. 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. Automatic first.
Yeah, they're dangerously in that territory right now. Not quite there. The play action fake. Cousins will check it down to his back. That's Ty Chandler. Nowhere to go.
And that was a huge loss, Kendricks.
2nd and 6. Off the play fake. Cousins on the roll. Chase checks it to Jefferson. Incomplete. That pressure once again. 3rd and 6. Pressure again. Cousins throwing off his back foot, incomplete. He had Tui Pulotu in his face again.
For a little protection off the edge to help.
4th and 6. Cousins waiting. Throws. Osborne open. He's got it down the sideline. Osborne diving into the end zone. It is a touchdown.
See if he stays in. Oh, ball security, hang in there. Oh, he's good. Oh,
what a dive.
Like an old Reggie Bush dive.
Wow. KJ Osborne's dive turns into 6, and the extra point is good. The boos are going to start cascading down. The pressure ratchets up.
That's why that call was so impressive to me.
Tight ends as well. His team down 4. Herbert back to the air on 1st down on a slant. It's Keenan Allen, and Allen down near the 39-yard line.
Get over the middle and reveal himself to the quarterback.
From the 39, here's Keenan Allen. Touchdown pass thrown a moment ago, but a flag is thrown here.
Holding, offense number 88. 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
Messed up the timing. He got caught up inside.
1st and 18 at the 31. Mike Williams gets 10 to the 41-yard line. 2nd and 7 at the 42. Going to the ground, trying to find room for Kelly, and he'll find none. Cameron Bynum, who's really been playing well to start this young season for the Vikings. 15 tackles a week ago, another stop there.
Well, here he comes. Right on the outside, boom. And he's going to contain this thing. Watch him. Stay all the way outside. Doesn't go chase the cheese inside and try and make the play in the hole. He stays completely wide. Here it is again, Kev. Everybody at the line of scrimmage. Forcing communication by Justin Herbert in the noise.
On 3rd and 9, here comes that pressure. Herbert steps away, ball knocked out of his hands, and it's covered up. Daniil Hunter stripped the ball out of the hands of Justin Herbert. It'll go as a strip sack, and it'll end the Chargers' threat.
Number 99. He gets a fast start out of the blocks. And just gets a finger on that football. Watch this reach.
The Vikings defense gets the stop. They'll get it back for the offense after Daniil Hunter's 5th sack of the year. He came in tied with T.J. Watt for the league lead in sacks after 2 weeks. John David Booty? Was that who was there?
Oh, after him.
Okay. Oh. Madison, good run for the Vikings. Ball pops out, it's down. Officials are saying down by contact at the 31-yard line. From the 30-yard line, and the handoff to Alexander Madison. You were talking last drive, Mark, about how with a flag, with the ability to score on the last drive, it would not keep the Vikings behind their score, essentially where they had to chase. Now 1st and 20, though, out of the shotgun to the air. Addison with the catch at the 25, across the 30.
And the shoulder. I'll have an official update on Derwin James.
Derwin James is questionable with a hamstring.
Questionable with a hamstring, and Mike Williams is questionable with a knee injury.
Cousins in a 4-man rush gets it into Addison, and Jordan Addison able to hang on through the contact of Michael Davis. Years and years of practicing your footwork, isn't it?
That's so good by Kirk Cousins. That's perfect mechanics.
Back to the air again, and an excellent play by Asante Samuel. Came over to punch it away from Jordan Addison. 2nd and 10 at the 42-yard line. Hand off to Madison. Big hole up the middle. You said it, Mark. They can't abandon the run game. Excellent. And with it being a 4-point game, they don't.
No way they can afford a fumble right here.
89 yards rushing for Madison. Had only 62 yards the first 2 games, but a sack. Tuipulotu again.
All the way around the outside. Running all the way around the hoop. Coming into your vision right there. And watch him. This is just a hustle sack. The quarterback escapes the pocket. He didn't put an amazing pass move on him or pass rush move on anybody, but he just kept the motor going. That's a kid who's never going to quit. USC guy, no surprise.
2nd and 14 at the 48. Oh, what a strike. Oh, Justin Jefferson on the run. Jefferson will not be caught. It's a touchdown. 52 yards for the lead.
Ooh, Justin Jefferson comes ripping across the field into Kirk Cousins' vision. Look at this. Knows when to slow down. See him throttle a little bit in that zone. Defender in front with his eyes.
24-21. There was a flag down on the extra point.
Really on the field is a successful try. Offside. Defense, number 26. That foul will be enforced on a succeeding kickoff. Timeout.
Darius Davis awaiting the kickoff for the Chargers. And remember, Mike Williams questionable to return, as Laura reported, with a knee injury. 1st and 10 at the 25. Herbert to the air. There's Keenan Allen. Flag is down as Allen's out of bounds across the 45 near the 46-yard line. A pickup of 21.
Got a little piece of him. See these two locked up inside right there. That little grab.
It's the most receptions ever allowed by a Vikings defense. Allen has 15 today. Kelly down at midfield. Vikings bring some pressure. It's picked up. Herbert. Quick toss to Everett, who breaks contact initially, and Everett with a first down. From the 43, off the play action. Herbert got rid of it before the pressure came. Allen with the catch. A flag is down, and Allen down at the 20-yard line. 23-yard gain, but this one's going back the other way.
You're right.
Pass interference. Offense number 13. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Well, if we always tried to make QB1s happy, that'd be a hard day. 1st and 20. Herbert steps away from pressure, looking down the field. Jump ball for Joshua Palmer, and it's incomplete. Murphy on the coverage there.
And everybody lined up along the line of scrimmage. Maybe a quick throw for the Chargers. 2nd
and 20. It's Kelly trying to get to the edge and get a little yardage down at midfield in the arms of Ivan Pace Jr. 3rd and 17. Herbert.
Oh boy.
Back over the middle. Dangerous throw, but he finds Allen and he gets the first down.
You kidding me? Well, once he starts drifting this way, you're going to see some defenders start to follow him. Like moths to a light. Watch the defenders right here start creeping to the left. Are you kidding me? With this throw right inside? Get out of town.
Yeah, not one quarterback coach is ever going to tell you to do that.
No, but that's the one you're holding your breath and you're like, don't you dare. Great throw.
To the end zone. Deflected
and
caught. It went off Evans into the hands of Joshua Palmer for a Charger touchdown. The tip drill turns into 6 quick, and Los Angeles takes the lead again.
The Vikings, but look, Evans has this thing. Misses. Palmer hangs on. I mean, just the way he drew it up. Come on.
For the 100th passing touchdown of Justin Herbert's career.
That thing was an adventure.
It's like the 5-timers club on SNL. I mean, you can't get in that thing without a jacket of some sort. Through the end zone. One of them and Justin Herbert. Now the veteran quarterback trying to lead the Vikings back. They've scored touchdowns on their last 2 drives. We've still got under 8 minutes to go in this game and a long way to go before this is decided. 2nd and 9. Cousins, incomplete, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
He was ejected on that sideline a lot, but boy, we saw what he does well.
Yeah, he certainly has seemed to put that behind him on 3rd down. What a strike, and the catch by Jordan Addison to get a Viking 1st down.
Watch him slow down in this window. You see him throttle a little bit, and he knows.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 41.
Tack 15 yards on to the end of the play.
Well done by a young receiver.
And after the penalty, 1st down at the Charger 43. Cousins back to the air. Open again is Addison. A little toe drag.
And Kirk Cousins didn't even step into that throw. And he just threw out, oh my gosh, like a 60-degree wedge. So early, no step. That's a heck of a throw.
Pace as he checks down to Madison, and Madison covering up with both hands as the contact comes at the 27-yard line. We're really seeing some outstanding quarterback play.
And he's so strict.
2nd and 4. Jefferson, blockers in front, and Jefferson lunging close to the 1st down. It's a really good play by Asante Samuel to come off that block. And on 3rd down and short, the handoff to Madison, and Madison gets the 1st down. Vikings going quick here. They've gone with the pace game.
Nothing explosive, but it's been serviceable. It's been manageable.
From the 20-yard line, they give us to Chandler now. Ty Chandler breaking contact and spins his way down to the 11-yard line. A 9-yard gain before Nick Neiman can bring him down.
Hawkinson out by himself.
2nd and 1, go the opposite direction to Jefferson. Jefferson down the sideline at the 5 and out of bounds inside the 5. 1st and receiving touchdowns in the 4th quarter overtime the last 3 years. Give up the middle to Madison diving for the goal line, and he is short. Stopped inside the 1 by Alohi Gilman. 2nd and goal, Minnesota. Munt motioning into the backfield. The give is to Madison, and Madison has stood up. Kenneth Murray. Like the K9 nickname, he sniffed that play out and dropped him for a loss.
There he is, right at the top. Look at how much space he has. He's even backing up, ready to go play this thing downhill. Gets a full head of steam and smacks Madison. Look at this. There's a sense of urgency on both sides in this run game and in this.
On 3rd down.
Sprint right.
Cousins looking, floating for the end zone wide. Jefferson and Osborne both there, well covered. Down 4, 2:58 to go. 4th and goal. You got to go, right? 4th and goal. It's not the game, but it's awfully big. On 4th and goal, Cousins looking, throws for Jefferson. There's a flag down. That came before the pass.
He's got to get set on this side of the ball. But watch, his feet are still moving because people weren't set at the beginning. You got to go from a legal formation to a legal formation that have to be ironed out if you're going to execute down deep in the red zone.
10 at the 2. From the end zone, Herbert finds Keenan Allen, his 17th catch of the day. And it is a run on 1st down. It's Kelly trying to get to the outside, but Jordan Hicks would not allow him to turn the corner. And that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. 2nd and 7 at the 18-yard line. Chargers going back to work. 2 timeouts for the Vikings. Daniil Hunter just stands up Joshua Kelly.
And that was the big play for these guys other than the tipped interception.
3rd and 11. Pressure up the middle. Allen with another catch. Allen close to the 1st down, but he didn't get it. On 4th down, Allen in motion. They are going to go. They give up the middle, and he's not going to get there. They go on the ground with Joshua Kelly. From behind in the same division, down 4 after a failed 4th down attempt. Kirk Cousins to the air. Open and just past the outstretched arms of K.J. Osborne, who has 10 4th quarter and overtime touchdowns the last 3 years. 2nd and 10 at the 24. Madison almost a problem on the handoff, and then Sebastian Joseph Day drops him. Remember, 4-point game, not 3-point game.
Yep. This is looked like Kirk wanted to keep that and throw it to the edge.
3rd and 11.
Got to get a completion.
4-man Charger rush. Cousins steps away to his right, throwing for the end zone, deflected and incomplete. looking for Addison. The pass knocked away by Asante Samuel. There is a flag down.
Illegal use of hands, hands to the face, defense number 43. 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
The play goes on, speed break. Watch this, they're going to snap it quick.
Cousins over the middle, knocked away from Hawkinson, and it's Alohi Gilman again. Gilman has been involved in so many plays. He's ripped a couple of balls out today, and Hawkinson stays down for Minnesota. Hawkinson back out there as well. 3rd down and 10. Cousins with time. Cousins short to Hawkinson at the 15 and out of bounds just inside the 15, shoved out by Nick Neiman.
And really to avoid an offense with no timeouts, just stopping the clock all the time, faking injuries.
2nd and 15 to the sideline. Catch made by Brandon Powell. 4th down and 5. Here's your ball game. Cousins over the middle. Hawkinson juggling. Catch is made. And the Vikings stay alive at the 7th. No timeouts. So much time being wasted here. 12 seconds when Cousins gets the snap. Steps up, throws for the end zone. Deflected, and it's intercepted. Kenneth Murray, after the double deflection, ends up with the football and extinguishes the Vikings' hopes.
And go box out the defender, who ends up being Neiman, I believe.
Yep, Neiman.
Watch him, he's going to run his route here and just kind of box out Neiman. And it's Kirk Cousins' job to throw that thing 100-mile-an-hour fastball right down Main Street, right in that zone. And he throws it away from the defender. I like what Hawkinson did, getting his body in between the ball and the defender. But bottom line was the execution getting to that play. Right? Too much chaos going on for your last play of the game. I'd like to see them clock the ball and reassess, take a deep breath, and give your best play a shot.
And that is going to do it. Brandon Staley gambles, lost the gamble, but ends up winning the game 28-24.